Everybody, it is Mark here in our office, the Urban Purpose office, with Jim right there behind me. So wanted to, we mentioned this, I don't know if anybody saw it, but mentioned it on social media yesterday. Kind of had a tough situation that we dealt with yesterday with one of the guys we've been walking with and knowing for like 3 or 4 years. And wanted to kind of walk through a little bit of that situation and kind of share some of the difficult side of these things. And so this guy, to give like kind of the nutshell version, he had some ups and downs over the years, had been doing really well, working, had a place to stay, that kind of thing, and pretty much lost everything through a series of bad decisions. And so job, living situation, all that. And so he came to us and, asked what he should do and basically wanted us to help him come up with a plan. Kind of came to us, the guys that we partner with through Taproot, came to them, looking for work opportunities and wanted a plan. And so we got together with him, me and Jim, and then Jacob and John from Taproot, and talked to him yesterday. And I'm going to get Jim to chime in here. So it would have been relatively easy for us to come up with a plan and say, you need to do X, Y, Z. Even if that plan involved a decent amount of consequences, not just jumping in and making everything okay, it would have been easy to say, all right, buddy, here's what you do. But we really, I think all four of us felt like that wasn't the route to go. And so just going to but it's hard sometimes when you have resources and you have the ability and you want to be able to fix things. You want to be able to have a solution and look, we have a plan. It can kind of get in the way there a little bit. And so that's sometimes hard to pull back. So just kind of going to get Jim's perspective, talk a little bit about like why backing off that and not offering him a plan and putting things back on his shoulders was the right move. So you want to speak to that just for a second?
Yeah, that's not really an easy question. It's kind of complicated, and it is to me. I'm not the smartest guy walking around. But what we've learned with this individual especially is that he will tell you anything that you want to hear to get what he ultimately wants. But as quickly as you give that thing to him, and it's a good thing, it's housing or it's good stuff, counseling, he will drop those things. And so in other words, he's committed to do these things, and he won't do them. He'll just say, oh, well, I'll get to him. I'm starting on my, and there's always an excuse. And so we felt that it was time to just be brutally honest, because to me, there's a real world and there's this pie in the sky crap world that people live in, and it's not healthy and it's not good for them at all. But they stay in that place, and so understanding the issues of yesterday with this guy we were working with is, if we give you this, we're enabling you. We're ultimately just giving it to you because you know what? We've seen for the past 4 years patterns develop on how you conduct yourself and how you think and how you reason. And when your head reasons basically that I am right and everybody else is wrong, and I don't even know how to say it or to speak it. It's to this place. It's like obsessive compulsion or something. It's just, that's all he thinks. So it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter how you say it. He doesn't hear it. All he hears is, oh, well, man, I was clean for 3 months. Yeah, but you just used the last 4 weeks. And so we're trying to walk through that with you and work with you on that. And you just keep doing what you keep doing. And so one of the biggest things, though, and I don't know if I answered the question. This is a hard question for me to answer because I think it goes deeper into people's heart, into the sin in their lives. And we all deal with sin and struggle with it. And so it's a hard subject. So I'm not trying to say there's something necessarily wrong with this guy. There's definitely something wrong, but it comes from something deep inside of him that causes him to think this way and put up these walls to protect himself. And so anyway, I think that giving him a plan would have actually probably been worse than doing what we did. And what we did was is we asked him what did he feel like he needed to be successful, and his answer was, I don't know. And we're like, well, have you thought about it? And he says, well, I've thought about it, but I don't know what I need. And I'm like, so to me, I'm kind of going, so you've been around us for 4 years, and you can't come up with one thing that you know you need for your life to be healthy. Not one thing. And so it was very interesting to me that he never said, well, I might need to do something about my drug issue or whatever, because that's a big issue in his life. But there's another issue, I promise you, deep down inside that's causing all this stuff. And so I don't know. I don't know if I answered your question. Those are my thoughts. It's a difficult place to be with somebody, and it's heartbreaking because I sat there and I said to him yesterday, because this is true, what I hear you saying is you do not value relationships, because he doesn't value relationship. He wants a job. He wants money. I can't say that tactfully. So some other things that aren't good for him necessarily. And I'm like, that's all he wants. And that's all he really wants. And so it ultimately comes down to this sin issue in a guy's heart. And it comes down to, what are you going to do with Jesus? That's what it comes down to. And hey, we all screw that up. I get it. And he understands that, but it just doesn't seem to click in his mind the discrepancies that the 4 men that were sitting there saying, we love you, we care for you, we want to be there for you, but we're not gonna do this all for you. You're gonna have to do some stuff. Mm-hmm. And so that's enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because like we do have resources to offer people, obviously, and the hard thing is that, but if that's all they want is the stuff, that they miss out on what Jim's talking about, the root of so much of their problem. And so, having like housing and jobs and things that are basic, things that we all need are important. But when those things become ultimate things and you miss out on your spiritual life, your relationship with other people, all those things, typically the people we work with drive that into a ditch. And so trying to get this guy to see, do you just value the stuff we have to offer, or do you value like the good that can surround you, the healthy relationships, good Christian counseling, all those type things. Yeah. And he, and that's a struggle because the only thing most people we're working with see is like what's right in front of them is, oh crap, I need a place to stay. I need, a job. I need to make money. I need, those things that are just right there. And it's so hard for them to step back and see the bigger picture that you're going to lose. All those things are fine. But if you don't take care of the root issue, you're going to lose them all. And so it was hard to kind of send him on his way yesterday. But it was basically, you need to go on and figure this out. We're right here. And we want to see you tomorrow. And we want to hang out with you. We want to spend time with you. But if we fix this problem for you right now, like Jim said, it's just going to drive this thing deeper into the ground, because you're going to get that problem that you see, fixed, and never really quite grasp what you really, really, truly need deep down. And so those are always hard things to walk through with people and decisions to make, because you're sitting there and your heart breaks and you want to fix it, and my heart goes to, well, I want, get this guy a place to stay tonight, whatever, and then maybe he'll come to, and yada, 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 and it doesn't work that way.
And interesting that we provided all these good, healthy things for him, community, counseling, different things, and he resisted all those things. Mm-hmm. And then he wonders why things fall apart, because he's putting all his hope in stuff of this world and not stuff of the Lord. So,
and that's the thing too. Is like, so many people that we work with, they struggle with these awful things, drug addiction and just bad things. But also, and this is true for all of us, right? Is that things that are good things in our life can tend to become these ultimate things, and then that drives it just as deep into a hole as the bad things. When you're work and making money and job and all that kind of stuff, when that becomes your be-all, end-all, it doesn't usually end well. And it might crash and burn for them in a more kind of out there way for everyone to see, but it's the same thing for us as we get out of whack and we focus on what's right in front of our face and that sort of thing. So the struggle is pretty similar. It's just the consequences here and now are so much more dire for them. But those are the same things that eat at us and cause us struggles and in our spiritual life, and then ultimately our just every aspect of our life, relationships and everything. So anyways, we just wanted to kind of, you have something else you want to say?
Yeah, loving people ain't easy.
Very true.
I mean, it's very hard, and it's well, I could talk on that for a while too, but
well,
that's what this is. So we had to kind of take a different direction than we normally take in this setting, and that setting was to encourage him to think, tell him that we're there for him, and he can come to us and bounce his ideas off of us, but you need to think of this stuff, and you need to start coming up with it. So
yeah, we want to see him, like, I think one thing we told him yesterday is we want to see him fight for these good things in his life as much as he, relationships and his spiritual life and all those things, these things that he needs around him. If he would fight for those as much as he fights for some of this other stuff, then a plan can come into place. When he's ready for these things, we'll be there, and we've got the resources and the ability to come up with a good plan once he's in a place to really want those things. But otherwise, we're just going to keep spinning on the hamster wheel over and over. So anyways, we just want to share a little bit about that.
We just jumped off that hamster wheel.
Yeah. We wanted to share a little bit about that with you guys today, just a little insight on some things that go on with us, and some of the struggles that we get to walk through with people. So anyways, keep checking us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, our 110 journey. We over halfway, told you about that last week, which is a big deal for us, and so we're tackling that second half now. So you go to urbanpurpose.org/110 and check out more information about that, and donate to that if you can, so we can continue to invest and provide these resources. But ultimately, those resources give us the ability to walk with people and to spend time and get to know them and build relationships, which is the most important thing. So appreciate you guys tuning in. See ya.